Oppa Gundam style, everybody. Welcome back to Wow Cool Robot, a podcast about Mobile Suit Gundam. I'm Max, and with me today is...
Hi, I'm Sam, and I'm here to talk about some GQuuuuuuX.
GQuuuuuuX, GQuuuuuuX. See, there's been enough time, but from when the series was revealed, and now the week it premiered. Oh, there's my multi-tool. Sorry, I've been looking for this fucking thing for like 2 weeks, and it was just on my desk next to my microphone. It's my new type ability.
Yes.
They're calling me Mav Max.
Yeah, that's a good one.
There's been enough time from like the reveal of this to now that I feel like most people got the name out of their system.
Yeah.
Because I have just been Quox.
Yeah, I watched the dub, and it does use Quux.
Quux. That's what
you're saying quark, but then adding like
quark
sucks at the end.
Flux. Me talking about popular shonen I don't like. Quark sucks. I don't like my hero that much.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't like the art style that much. It was the same thing. I'm 31 years old. Maybe I'm too old for shonen. Never mind. I just remembered I like Kagurabachi. We're so back.
Its peak is the thing.
Is good. So
anyway,
okay.
To get to the Gundam.
That's what I think. I think I landed on GQuuuuuuX. Just because that's like...
Oh, yeah. Like, for any serious conversation, it's GQuuuuuuX. But if I'm joking around, I will still say GQuuuuuuX. To be clear, this is like a half-serious conversation.
Yeah. But we're back, and the way that this is going to work, and if you're basically anyone in the Discord for the show, you already know it's going to work. Every week, we're going to have a different guest on with me, as always, because I'm stuck here until I die. Talk about GQuuuuuuX. It's releasing every week. I think they said only 12 episodes, which I've come to terms with. If it's a show designed around 12 episodes from the get-go, that's good. That's fine. Some of my favorite shows are 12 episodes long.
Yeah, it's kind of OVA with it, which, I'm not opposed to.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like Eizouken is 12 episodes, and that's one of the best fucking shows I've ever seen. Ping Pong is like 11 episodes. Mob Psycho is not a good example, because it's 3 seasons of 12 episodes. So it's 36 episodes, which is how long a JoJo part is. But it's like, that's fine. I think the weird thing is that it's new for Gundam. Gundam's usually like a 50 episode thing.
Yeah, I mean, it feels weird just because that's been the established style.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I don't think we've had a long one since IBO, which was like 2015?
And it's funny you say that, because that was only 2 series ago.
Yeah. And it's like we're getting Gundams slower than before and shorter.
It's almost like most industries are kind of like untenably growing at this point.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Anyway,
we watched episode 1 of GQuuuuuuuX, and
otherwise known as The Red Gundam.
That's fucking right. And I wrote a little bit of a summary for this one to get you all up to speed. If for some reason you're listening to this before you watch the show, which is, go off, I guess.
Insane.
I can't stop you.
It's been one episode. Watch the damn show, then come back.
It's 24 minutes of your time. I'm begging you.
This episode's going to be longer than the fucking show. I have no doubt.
Yeah, honestly. So, the 1-year war is over. Zeon won. Things are a little bit different. Side 6 is independent. It seems to be policed by Earth Federation remnants who are oppressing spaceoid refugees. Could that mean anything?
I don't think that's true.
I thought... There's a line early on
when they referred to this is what has happened to Federation remnants, I think they were talking about the junk dealer Zakus that were civilian models on the outside of the station.
Okay. Fact check on that, dear listener. Sexual Chalia Bull aboard Zeon's Green Base searches for the Red Gundam, perhaps piloted by the Red Comet. As it graffitis the outside of Side 6, he sends Xavier Olivet, a new type, to chase after the Red Gundam. The Red Gundam, aboard the GQuuuuuuuX, another Psychomu-enabled Gundam. They begin fighting and end up moving inside the colony, where their battle concludes in a refugee slum. Meanwhile, main character Machu meets Nyan, a courier who bumps into her carrying an illegal activation key for clan battle, mobile suit prize fighting, essentially. Machu tags along with Nyan to deliver it, hoping to get a taste of freedom, since she's seemingly been confined to a colony her entire life. She gets in a clan bat, Zaku, ends up tussling with colony police, falls down an elevator shaft, and comes face to face with the GQuuuuuX. Seeing that it's clearly stronger and cooler than a Zaku, she gets in it to fight back against the police when... True. Real.
Both parts of that statement.
When Haro activates its Omega Psycommu, now allowing her not only to fight back against the Zaku, but enter the soup in record time. Seeing the Red Gundam in there with her, by the way. She defeats the military Zakus, and the Red Gundam flies off with Chalia, figuring out that's not Char behind the wheel after all. So that was a lot for a first episode. They packed
so much into this. It's crazy. But as all things UC must start, we open on 2 Zakus.
Yes, that's it. These guys are fucking kicking the shit out of each other.
Yeah, they're beating the hell out of each other.
They're just They don't. We get a little bit of expository dialogue pretty quickly of like, oh, they don't have like you essentially you can turn on a pilot mobile suit, but like you need a special sort of like activation key to like enable its weapons, which is why the mono eyes are blue and not red.
And it's a like, big ass chunky like 80s style computer chip.
It's like
I love
the
it.
Thing. I want to say it's similar to the thing that Temray tries to give Amuro that makes the Gundam so much better and stronger and cooler.
Oh yeah.
I mean that could just be like chunky 80s technology, so it might not be a reference, but yeah, it looks like a hard drive. But yeah, so these Zakus are beating the fuck out of each other. I don't even know if they're doing clan battle. I think they might just be like kicking shit to because they're bored.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they are, especially with what we learned about clan battle later.
Right, because they're doing it in front of Zeon, who just like politely honks to get them out of the way.
Yeah, they're just like, hey, do this somewhere else, dumbasses.
It's like when you're driving, there's like a family of geese crossing the road. You're like, I got places to be.
But speaking of Zeon showing up, oh my fucking god,
it's. I think they're cooking right away, huh?
It's the green base, as Max quipped before this episode.
It is a Pegasus class battle cruiser, I think. And yeah, it doesn't have the beautiful matching tricolor that the white base had. It's painted like green and gray and white, and it has the little Zeon logo on it, and is piloted by Zeon military, including Chalia Bull, who's hot as fuck now, it seems.
What did they do to this old man?
So the first thing...
They gave him the anime juice.
They put him... He was a new type back in 0079, but he clearly had never like actually entered the suit, because this is what happens if you're in there for too long. You get Yassified. Not Yas like the artist, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
This is when you notice that, these characters look very, very different from normal Gundam characters, and that is because the main character designer of GQuuuuuX is Take, who does the modern Pokemon designs. And once you see that, you kind of can only think, these are just Pokemon characters.
Shit, I didn't know that, but now that I know, I'm thinking about it in my head.
You see.
I'm turning Machu
Bull
like a rotisserie chicken.
Yeah, I'm rotating Machu's perfectly round head.
Yeah, her big ass head.
You see Chalia Bull, and he's just fucking Chairman Rose from Sword and Shield. Like almost the exact same like facial hair. It doesn't have the weird like undercut that he has. Yeah,
he does have the weird like spiky beard goatee thing.
Yeah, like the Iron Man goatee. It's, to be clear, I like the designs. I think they're really cool. Good. I love how expressive the characters are too. Mostly like Machu and Nyan to a lesser degree, but like all the clan people are like that. It's just like it reminds me of how, anime got a little too serious for a while after 9/11 happened, but in the 80s and 90s, like, they were allowed to be very cute and expressive. Like, you look at stills from Zeta, and Camille is, like, pulling fucking funny faces the entire time.
And our boy Judo has never been serious a day in his life.
He's never... Yeah. Let me be
he
real.
Ate an entire ice cream sundae in one bite.
Oh, he loves it. It's yummy. But yeah, the little bit of exposition we get here,
I did not know this man, Chalia Bull, before this. So when he like grabbed his head and went, it's a Gundam, I was like, new type? New type confirmed?
And like, he's the first new type asterisk, like the first character named and designated as a new type. from back in 0079. Was he good at it? No. Amuro blew him up immediately. I think he piloted the Grublo, whatever you want to call it. It was the fucking, like, gray and purple thing that has, like, the wired bits on it. He was,
okay.
like, really
I do know
late
that
in the
guy.
show.
Yeah, I only watched the compilation movies, viewers. Please don't crucify me.
Yeah.
So I did not know him.
Yeah, and it goes to show how much he really matters, because they basically use him to introduce the ideas of new types, and then say, okay, but here's Amuro and Char.
Yeah, and then in this show, she called one of the other bridge crew calls it his, like, Jupiter returnee intuition. So it's like, the boys go to Stupiter to get more new typer.
So, and that's the crazy thing too, because Double Zeta, Paptmus, he was in Jupiter for, like, helium mining, but. And there's, like, that kind of recurring Gundam idea of, if you kind of, like, go out into more deep space, the further away from Earth you are, the kind of, like, more, if you have new type latent abilities, like, the more likely they'll activate and sort of, like, begin to grow as you get attuned to space. So I don't know if, like, he went to Jupiter for new type purposes. Like, is the Flanagan Institute out in Jupiter now? Because they mentioned Flanagan, which is, like, the new type school, essentially. That's where Lala was from. But yeah, we really don't get anything on there. But it's more, they do so much, like, casual world building here where it doesn't make any fucking sense if you don't know Gundam already. But, like, basically every other word out of their mouth is, like, a red highlighted word where you can, like, click on it and get the fucking lore codex entry on the side of the screen.
Yeah, if we're playing Final Fantasy 16, there's so much.
You're hitting that middle button every sentence.
Yeah.
And the way they so awkwardly say, is something the matter, Commander Charlie a Bull?
Oh, yeah. Well, and he's, like, one of, like, 4 characters we actually get the name for.
Yeah, it's Charlie a Bull. He mentions the name of the other girl later on
the bridge
on his
crew,
bridge. Yeah. I didn't write it down. I forgot. Sorry.
Her name is Komali Harcourt, which is a Gundam-ass Gundam name.
That's right. Oh, yeah, I did pull up the character page from the official website, and yeah, it's like they're doing some really funny names here. It's great.
Yeah, it's crazy. But we cut to, they talk a little bit about, like, the red Gundam, I think, and we cut to the Cop Zaku.
Yeah,
and that is a Titan's ass color scheme on a Zaku.
It's that dark blue and black. You got the cool red eye. I think people
cops don't get to look this cool.
They don't. It's not right. It's perverse. People have talked about how they don't like some of the redesigns in the show. It's cool. It's fine. It would be boring if they looked exactly the same.
And it seems like it even takes some things from Seed Destiny with how the head looks. As a Seed apologist, I really like that.
Yeah, it's very, like, weird and bulbous, and, like, its legs are stanced really strangely. But you look at it. I mean, first of all, everything looks really great in motion. Like, this is good 3D.
Yeah, I was so skeptical when we first saw the designs, just, like, in concept art and, like, stills, with how the proportions were and everything. But as they move, like, they look so much better animating, which is not how I'm used to things going.
Right, and in an ideal world, like, I have the GQuuuuuX Gunpla pre-ordered, and I might get the other ones too. Like, in an ideal world, they might, like, slightly edit those designs just for, like, real life constructability, posability, but, like, these very much do feel designed, like, not just obviously for the show, but, like, for how they're going to be animated in 3D most of the time. Where it's like they're over-designed in the sense of, like, it's a very, like, maximalist design for what it is, but
they got a lot of shit going on.
They got a lot of shit going on, but, like, they animate these things a lot more like, well, they animate them more animated is not what I necessarily mean to say, but, like, you know, you look at how they move so much more human-like and so much more, like, quickly and snappy, and, like, you don't necessarily get a sense for how big these mobile suits are, which is fine.
Until the second half of the episode, in which you
until they're stomping around the slum. But, like, yeah, in space, they're doing crazy acrobatic maneuvers, but the designs are still, I think, pretty digestible, which I find pretty impressive, just for how, like, if you look up what this thing looks like, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, and we're sitting here talking about the Zaku design, which we get to see for all of, like, 10 seconds, because it may be a new timeline, but a Gundam still cuts through a Zaku like butter.
I fucking love this Gundam design.
It's nutty.
Because we got... There's always been... I don't know if it originally came from Giran's Greed, if it was just like a classic MSV thing. There's always been a red Gundam of a what if Char got the Gundam instead of Amuro. And this is based on that idea, so it's like mostly red with like dark red accents and black and gray. It looks fucking cool and scary and has like the biggest fucking bits you've ever seen, because I think they're based on the Elmeth's bits, because the Elmeth is big as hell. They are.
Yeah, because in this timeline, of course... Zeon were the ones who won the war, so that means that their like insane rush towards ace level suits worked out because the Gundam wasn't there to blow them all up before they could get mass produced.
They had the thing that blew everything else up.
Yeah. So we get the Gundam flying by with these like what at first they just look like massive boosters on its shoulders. Yeah. And they break off and you're like, oh fuck.
I know what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it completely obliterates the guy. You hear the other one say, you just killed my Mav. They say the word Mav a lot here. We don't know.
It's not explained.
Means. It's
vaguely, it's like partner.
Yeah,
or
I
like
can't
duo.
tell. I can't tell if Mav necessarily means like superior. I don't think it means. I think you are both Mav to each other if you're in a duo.
Yeah, it seems almost like a Pacific Rim drift partner sort of thing.
Right, yeah. If like duos is a whole thing. And I mean like...
Or you know, your Fortnite duo.
Right. And like you even hear Machu use the term Mav almost like she's not quite sure what it means either, but she's heard people say it.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is interesting. So it seems to me, and I haven't seen the movie, so I'm not entirely sure if it gets explained in the next like 2 episodes ish. But yeah, it feels like roughly it's kind of like your like patrol partner or something like that, or like sortie partner.
Yeah. And then one of my favorite parts of the episode happens when the guy screams out like, what the hell is that thing? And he's answered by a close-up of its face with like caution tape eye markers.
Yeah, it's freaky.
And then the title card where the guy goes, the Red Gundam.
The Red Gundam. That's right.
Just awesome.
That it sure fucking is.
And then something completely different.
Let's get to the beginning, which is what I always say when I prank text my friends. Machu Picchu's here. Her name is Amate Yuzuriha. The website says Machu in all caps in parentheses. So
I'm sure that'll be like her gamer tag or her like clan battle.
Oh yeah, her like gun or clan bat. Yeah, her call sign.
Essentially, yeah.
We don't know her name, but we're gonna say her name because I'm not gonna call her fucking. I'm not gonna call her Roundhead the entire time.
Yeah, wild to not name any of your main characters except like one in the first episode.
Yeah, she's in the subway. It's her stop, and then like she hears some like sirens saying, "Oh, sorry, subway's out of service because police activity." And then we see the other like deuteragonist, who we don't know her name, but we know her name is Nyan, which is kind of an insane thing for a person to be named.
Cat girl, but not a cat girl.
Yeah, cat girl's here. She's a fucking... Well, she's like disguised as an Uber Eats deliverer, essentially.
Which Machu, I think, is, because it's on her bag, if I remember correctly.
It's on... No, I thought it was on Nyan's bag. Maybe like...
Okay. Oh, I think I got mixed up by the shots, I think. Because there's a shot of Machu stepping off the train, and then a shot of the bag with Uber Eats on it.
Yeah. Deli Eats. Well, I think what it is, because Nyan's a courier, so I think like the Deli Eats is part of like...
Her cover, That makes sense.
Her cover, of, there's just a delicious pizza in here, officer. No need to look inside.
Yeah.
She like jumps over the little like turnstile thing and just fucking completely bowls into Machu, like knees her in the fucking face.
Yeah, gives her a fucking meteora out of nowhere.
Yeah. And she runs off, and the cops like crunch her phone as they run away too. And she's all
it was tragic. She has such a cute little phone too.
The like terrorist, she's not going to be able to buy a new one.
It's crunched on, yeah.
Her Rodom phone.
It does sort of look like a Rodom phone.
guy who's only played Pokemon seeing a red phone for the first time.
Yeah.
She doesn't seem to like living in a colony, though. Like, basically any Gundam character in a colony.
Yeah, she, like, rattles off the stats about the colony. She's like, oh, it's 1.6 kilometers in diameter.
Yeah,
generates 1 G of gravity by spinning. And it fucking sucks. We don't have sky, we don't have sun, we don't have the ocean. Like,
everything sucks here. Yeah, I like the line, the heavens are at your feet, not above your head.
That was really cool. And while she's doing, like, a handstand...
handstand on a diving board, fully clothed, as she jumps in. It's like, we don't even know the real sea. And all of her classmates are like, Machu, you fucking mad lad, what are you doing?
Yeah.
At this point, I really noticed the background music. So the show is both very sparse with its background music, of just like, you don't really hear anything. It's just sound from people talking and sound effects. But then when you do get background music, it's so... it paints this really beautiful picture. It feels to me... It almost hits me of like some of the Final Fantasy 13 background music, where it's just like of almost like a song, not necessarily like a theme of an area, but it just has like really nice like electronic drum beats and this very sort of ethereal quality to it, of just like her like walking around a crowd, and just like it gives this very spacey feel, first of all, which is good.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's like
VR in space.
This is going to be such a stupid comparison, but it's like, if you've played Persona 5, you know the transition scenes where it shows like your character walking through a crowd.
Yeah.
It sounds like some shit they'd be playing in the background while that happens.
Yeah,
it's like a loading screen. It's really cool.
It's really cool. I just love the art style. Everything's drawn so fucking cool. Like, it gives you this really nice sense of place. It's a very dark show, first of all. Like, and I think it plays that to its benefit, because like you see Machu like in the crowd, it's all dark. Like the brightest shots are really like when you see the outside of the colony, where it's like reflecting the sun, so it's all kind of lit up, or like when Machu's inside that subway that has like all like the sort of like fluorescent lights overhead. When she's actually out in the streets and stuff, it's really fucking like dark and dingy, and like, you know, she's in the refugee slum, which makes sense why it's so dark and dingy. It feels very deliberate in a really cool way, of just like it feels like they're experimenting with basically every aspect of Gundam here. Even like the lighting
so
of the
much
show.
Different. I do have one note from the episode that's just real good shot of the colony, goddamn.
Yeah, oh yeah, when like you see the sort of like lights going out as the sort of the sun quote unquote sets and nighttime kicks in.
Yeah, when they change the time of day. It's so cool.
Yeah.
But Machu, as she's like opening her bag, she finds this object that we
she
know
finds
is
the hard drive.
The hard drive, and decides to sniff it.
Yeah, like, and says, "Oh, it's not a bomb, girl." Yeah. Well, it's gonna smell. It's gonna smell like gunpowder. Otherwise, I guess. And then she looks it up on
Foolipedia.
Fucking Foolipedia.
Good.
Not only is like Foolipedia a website that you can look things up, but like the fucking serial number on the back of it, she plugs it in and it says, "Oh, this is exactly what this is." That's crazy that like you can just look up an illegal object on this fucking thing and it'll tell you exactly what it is and how to use it.
I imagine it's looking up kind of the serial number or like item number of a gun, you know?
That's true. Yeah. Essentially, it's an installer device, she says, which it allows you to use weapons in a mobile suit. And she says, "Oh, this is like an illegal smuggled item. That's not good."
Yeah, well, and that's like such an interesting idea to me. Is like the installer key, and later on we see the like Psychomo activation key,
right?
And I love all the way all the tech is portrayed, and the idea of like, oh, you need authorization to use weapons. Almost like the state is controlling who can use violence or something.
Well, yeah, and then not only that, but like I feel like it's partially also there to remind you that this is still the year 0079 or 0080, like, because we're kind of going back to like it's like almost retrofuturism in that like you need this big fucking chunky thing that you like physically plug into the mobile suit in order to activate it. And like in a newer show, it would just be like, oh, you know, biometric scan, you're allowed to use it. Like, you know, it gives a more tactile feel to it, which is very, very cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then we kind of get a sense of how serious it is, I guess, because there's... Well, I don't even know if it's related, because we kind of we go back to the green base, and they sort of talk about the contraband, and there being a courier, and I was like, wait a minute. So the whole white base is here just for one activation key? Or, like, how important is Nyan?
So, okay, what I thought was... I think the activation key is separate from the red Gundam. I thought the green base was there because the red Gundam's fucking around, tagging side 6. I thought that Nyan was just, like, caught by the cops trying to smuggle an illegal thing, and, like, that was totally separate from why Zeon is there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, this is, I guess, a very illegal item, because, well, I mean, obviously it's a very illegal item, right? But it's I don't know, it's just very cool. It's exciting watching a show and not knowing what's like, what's the fucking meme? You watch it and then information is revealed to you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's me. I'm the meme right now. I don't know what's happening.
Well, including we get 2 more name drops where, like, if you know Gundam, you fucking pointing at the screen, because not only is Kycilia alive, which tells us a lot about both what
Char didn't explode her badly.
didn't do his 360 no scope, but also Machuesday is alive.
Machuesday's alive.
Which means he also didn't die badly.
Right, and then they name drop that, the Red Comet is Zeon Daikun's surviving son.
That's a rumor.
A rumor. So the question is, like, is the situation with Zeon still the same, or Daewon maybe killed him, maybe didn't? It's hard to say. Or if that, like, it seems like the idea of Char and his origins are still pretty heavily mythologized in this take on the world.
My assumption at this point is that basically everything up to 0079 itself is pretty much the same.
Right. It's just a different guy got in the Gundam and everything fucked up.
Yeah. What I'm thinking happened is when that infiltration mission that we see in the first episode of 0079 happened, Char got in the Gundam.
Right.
Like, I'm thinking Amuro either, like, died or was delayed or something, and Char just jumped right in there because he, does his whole, I'm going to go take some pictures thing. But this time, no one's in the Gundam. It
works this time. Yeah, it's really, really cool. And I mean, if you look on the character page of the website, you do see Denim and Dren are here. So Denim, one of Char's boys, it was Denim and I think it was just Jean, right?
It was Jean, yeah, Denim and Jean.
And then Dren was, like, the commander on Char's ship.
I really wish that all of Char's guys kept, like, clothes names. That would have been so funny.
Oh man, I want to see the Mad Angler Squadron come back.
Yeah, I wonder what the Black Tri-Stars are going to be like here.
Oh,
assuming they're not exploded.
If we see fucking Rambo Raw, I'm going to lose my goddamn mind.
Dude, you have... Folks, my username right now is Young Goof Ignited in the Discord because I am the largest Rambo Raw stan in the world.
Can you imagine what a fucking goof looks like in this art style?
Don't even... I don't even want to think about it. I don't want to rile myself up and get disappointed.
So, more you mentioned earlier, there's a thing called the Omega Saikamu, which is essentially the same...
that does get brought up.
Activation key, but it basically is like the new type button, where you can pilot the Quux. Side note, if the original timeline is called UC, should this be called UC? Anyway.
Yes. I will. I sponsor that.
But only
can
only
I
like
get
a new
C?
Can I get a so presumably only a new type can activate and use such a thing, and like this is a very precious thing. This is a very like these activation keys are already like a precious, dangerous thing to have, and a thing that lets you do new type shit above that is like even more so. They drop a name of something called a Zeknova, which, based on the way that the people on the bridge are talking about, like, new type activity gone wrong, a Zeknova seems to be like not Axis Shock level, but an equivalent of that, of like two new types get a little bit too pumped up on the soup and something bad happens to everyone around.
That was the other moment I had a thought where I was like, oh shit, is that how Amuro died in this timeline?
Whoa.
Where he
Char and Lala just fucking obliterated him.
Yeah. Either Char and Lala did it, or like when he and Char fought in the this, 1 year war, with whatever new type shit the Federation was able to put together.
Sure.
Maybe it wasn't good enough and like blew up, you know?
Yeah.
But speaking of really Amuro, we get introduced to the initial pilot of the GQuuuuuX, who they say his name Xave instead of like Xavier or Xavier.
Xavier Olivet.
Xave, yeah. My note for him is shitty ass bitch ass Amuro fake motherfucker.
Well, it's like that. Yeah, if he has kind of like a sort of like fringe at the back of his hair, like not quite mullet level, but he has funny hair. He was top of his class at Flanagan, so he's like a pretty decent new type. One would say, at least decent enough for him to have been like a school new type, not like, you know, a discovered diamond in the rough new type like Amuro is. So he's in the Quux. He pilots that thing.
Mm-hmm. And it has its like mask down, which is a good look already. I do like how that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Like
it's like it's reminiscent of another Gundam reference. It's like when the unicorn has its horn closed.
Perhaps
similar to that. We get a really cool insert song at this point too, when we like kind of cut back to the colony after Xavier flies out. He does do a little mention of like, they say we're not at war anymore, but like anyone can notice that we're like fucking barfing Minovsky particles everywhere. So anyone would notice something is still going on that's like needs to be kept under wraps here.
Yeah, he's like, we're supposed to be on a stealth mission, but here I am going up on everyone's sensors like a big idiot.
Colonel, my Minovsky particles are clapping too loud. We get a really cool insert song here that is, I think, neither the opening nor the ending. It's just a cool song to hear with like lyrics and shit that I really like. And this is another Machu Neon scene where like Neon tracks Machu in the crowd. She's wearing sunglasses this nighttime. She looks cool as fuck right now.
She does. It is a very cool look.
Yeah, and she like grabs the thing that her tracking device was on and like runs to the roof of a building and realizes it was just like a manga that Machu put the tracker on instead of the little hard drive, and Machu like dangles it above her hand on like the fire escape, saying "Looking for this."
Yeah, her dub voice actor is really good. I like it a lot.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we never mentioned. So I'm of course watching the sub. You're watching the dub. Maybe I'll go back and forth. Who knows?
It's very, very good. She does sort of sound like Morgana from Persona 5, which threw me off, but I didn't look up to see if the voice actress was the same.
I was gonna say she's not voiced by Cassandra Lee Morris. I'm playing fucking Xenoblade X because one of the main characters is voiced by Cassandra Lee Morris. So it's like I'm getting Morgana all the damn time.
Yeah, let me see if I can.
Thea Sakolidi.
Okay,
is her name.
Yeah, little different, but it's a good voice. Very. Definitely captures her like audaciousness well, because she is like so ready to go at all times.
She's like another Camille, honestly.
Definitely,
just like
in go mode at all times.
In go mode, my life sucks. I will do something crazy and illegal at the drop of a hat because I want I need something out of life.
Yeah,
and if it's like, attacking cops, then so fucking be it.
Yeah, well, and to the point where she like when nobody comes out at her taunting, she's not like, okay, I guess there's nobody here. She's like, I know you're here. Guess I'll just, chuck this insanely valuable piece of hardware. And then when Neon runs out to catch it, she jumps in front of her and catches it herself.
That shot, I tick one up on the Gundam counter. I don't think it's a reference to Wing, but it felt a very similar moment of, Hero passing Relina, I'll kill you. Machu passing Neon in almost the exact same kind of shot. Are you a terrorist?
Yeah. I didn't even think about that, but it is a neat little thing there.
Yeah. And Neon very sheepishly, no, it's for clan bat. And she's like, all right, cool. Pretty sure that's still illegal. Yeah,
she's like, that's a hyper illegal, dude. I don't care that it's not for terrorism.
Then as she tries to grab it, they collide, and it's like a very pretty, beautiful, sparkling shot as like they like slam into each other. So I think they saw
are selling us on Yuri is what they are doing.
They saw how much people went completely fucking apeshit bananas for Suletta and Miri, and they're like, more
Gundam girls, do it.
It's nice, and it's like this is clearly a very different relationship because like neither is like, well, obviously Machu's not pushing Neon away, but Neon really isn't pushing Machu away. It's like she immediately can tell, okay, like, this girl is already stuck to me and there's nothing I can do about it. I might as well keep taking her along with me.
I'm just dealing with this now, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Especially because she got her ass. Like, Machu got her with this whole thing.
Machu owned her so badly, and she just has to live with that now.
Yeah, she's just like, you've owned me, you have my life. Yeah. My life is yours.
Yeah, it's like when you do a favor for a character in Skyrim once, and they're like, all right, man, I'll fucking die for you, I guess.
Yeah.
Give me those dragon bones, motherfucker.
Yeah, so she's like, okay, you were delivering this somewhere, right? And then they just they head off, right?
Yeah, they head off. We get a quick little cutaway here of Xavier fighting the Red Comet or the Red Gundam. We don't even know who the fuck's in it.
We don't.
He can't turn it on. He can't turn on the Omega Psi Commu. He still gets a new type flash as like one of the bits. He
does do that. Yeah, so he's not a complete failure.
Yeah, like he's not a fraud. He's definitely a new type, but he can't use like the Psycommu enabled parts of the Quux.
Well, and he does say, like, you know, he's like slamming the 80s ass control sticks back and forth, and is like, if I could just activate the Psycommu, I'd be able to handle this. And honestly, I think he could.
Because he does, like, later on, he fucking manually smashes the bits into each other. Like, he's clearly very good at this. It's just, like, he's using weighted training clothes, and he's not, he can't hang with the Red Gundam.
Even if he had, like, I don't know, like a quote-unquote regular new type mobile suit, if it was actually on, like, new type mode, he would be having the upper hand in this, because he is definitely giving this Red Gundam pilot a run for his money.
I really, really love when the Red Gundam gets really up close and starts shooting the head Vulcans. You can see you can see the bullet belt. You can see the fucking barrel spinning. I'm like, oh, it's crunchy. It feels like again, they're going back to this sort of retrofuturism. It's 0079 or 0080, probably 0080, I guess, if the 1 year war does end after a year like usual. But like, it's early technology. It's things that are like, you know, they're not as sleek and sort of like smooth as they looked back in 1979 because, you know, but selling toys and animation, you couldn't draw that shit. Back then. It feels so crunchy and old, and I just really, really dig it.
It gives the kind of vibe that something like Requiem for Vengeance was trying to go for, but I think does it more successfully, where it's like, you still get that, like, real robot, quote-unquote, vibes while they're doing all this insane shit. Because it's like, okay, I can see, you know, the belt-fed, you know, fucking machine guns in the head and all this other stuff. And I did put head Vulcans and bits are apparently Gundam signifiers for this universe. Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking about it. I can't think of another mobile suit. Okay, I can think of a lot of Gundams that have head Vulcans. Yes. I can't think of other suits that have, like, okay, fucking the Bjarland has, like, head Vulcans. Like, I can't think of grunt suits that aren't Gundams. So I think that, head Vulcans are a Gundam thing, it seems. Zaku certainly don't have it.
They certainly don't. And I love that in this universe where Zeon Psycommu stuff actually got to, like, get off the ground, bits specifically are, like, a Gundam thing. You know, because the Red Gundam has it. We don't know what other projects Zeon was up to after, you know, the Gundam springboarded them forward. But the GQuuuuuX obviously has something going on because, you know, he's talking about it like he's expecting he should be able to do that too. I mean, Xavier is.
I'm excited because, like, I don't think we've seen. I mean, again, I'm basing things I haven't seen on the show yet on, like, the promotional images of the Gunpla. I like, there's like, it has like a cool cutlass looking thing and a heat hawk, but the heat hawk is not the Quux's. The heat hawk Machu takes, but I don't remember. It doesn't have like any. I don't think it has any like big crazy new type tools.
Not that we've really seen so far.
Yeah, all it is the horn opens up. It's like, and okay, not to get too ahead of ourselves, but fucking, one of my favorite things is just the sort of like design lineage of the V-fin being based on Kabuto helmets, being based on beetle horns.
Mm-hmm. And I knew you'd love that.
Yeah, and the fact that the GQuuuuuX's horn, it's like it's like a rhinoceros beetle horn almost, or like a oh man, just hold on. I want to find the exact kind of beetle. I'm thinking
it's very Kamen Rider Kabuto to me when he does his cast off and the horn comes up in the middle. I don't know if you've seen him, but very good.
It's like an elephant beetle horn.
Yeah,
it comes up and then splits off at the end. It's fucking sick. It's a really cool design. I love the baby blue and the dark red. Very. It's fucking funky. It's clearly meant for space use too, because you look at its feet and it doesn't have feet. It has like a sort of like metal brace and like a ball that presumably is covered in thrusters, and that's it. It doesn't need to stand because it's going to be flying in space most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's neat.
That is very cool. I also may be reading way too far into this, but I did write down in my notes this time in episode 1, instead of 2 Zaku's like stealthily sneaking into side 7, we have 2 Gundams crashing the fucking side 6,
announcing themselves. That's it's a subversion of expectations.
It's kind of a callback, but like with a new twist. I like it.
Yeah, they fly in. We cut back to Machu and Neon, and they're like at the door of the Clan Bat office that Neon's supposed to deliver the thing to, and she's very like nervous about pressing the doorbell. And Machu goes, "All right, man," and just ding dong. Hello.
Most relatable shit an anime character has ever done. Hesitate like 3 times before pushing the doorbell.
Yeah, and she doesn't even do it. The other one has
someone else does
her.
It. Yeah.
We get into the office and we see a colorful bunch of characters. The only name we get is Anki, who is like she's the leader of the bunch.
Yeah. She's very they're very Pokemon team with it.
I was gonna literally. I'm like. Keep on referring to her as Jessie subconsciously.
Yeah. Well, she does have the big red hair. And she seems to be like either in charge or like the second in command who gets shit done.
I think she's in charge because she is holding a gun that she like has to hide because Machu like gets a little close. Jessie is the I know we just called her Jessie, but Jessie is the one who's like in the cockpit with her, the guy with the glasses.
Yeah, the guy with the glasses and the big like Buddha ears almost.
Yes, Nabu is the one who looks like a normal human being.
He's like just a guy.
He's the most just a guy designed character. Tim Kaine, he's the blonde one with the little like green highlights around his eyes.
Who just starts taking pictures while the Gundams are fighting like 50 yards down the road.
And then my favorite character of the show, Pomeranian.
The dog.
But named Pomeranian, who is like, this is the stupidest looking creature I've ever seen. This does not look like a Pomeranian. It looks like a strange, like...
It's a cat dog.
You can tell it looks more like... Yeah, it looks like a half cat, half dog. It's like dark purple with like bright turquoise eyes and nose and ears and like a little pink tongue. It's very cute and very funny and very animated. And I guess it's like the mascot of the Clan Battle
and this
office.
is where they start questioning Machu and Yan about like, hey, what the hell's going on? You know, and you were supposed to get here quietly, not get chased by the cops to our doorstep.
Yeah.
And that's when Machu's like, well, you wanted it today, right?
Yeah, and they're like, who are you?
Yeah. Jessie gets all up in her face and is like, well, who the hell are you, girl? In the dub, It's very good.
Nice. And she's like a babysitter or a Mav, I guess. It's like, this is what I was mentioning where she's like, it's like she's saying it without really knowing what it means.
Yeah, she has a little aha where it like pops into her head and she's like, or a Mav, I guess.
I've heard this term before.
Yeah.
And Anki immediately is like, you want to do clan battle?
Yeah. She's like, this kid's got spunk. I like your cut of your jib.
She got the sauce. And then Machu responds by asking, can he be free in space? And Haru jumps up and he's like,
Haru with a beanie!
Which is, free in Japanese. Haru's so fucking cute. I love that Haru just kind of becomes Machu's buddy for the rest of the episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it like explicitly is helping her more than anyone else.
Yeah. It does something that I didn't know Haru could do later on, which is a little alarming.
That was a little wild.
Yeah. But as Machu's looking at the Clan Bat Zaku, the Red Gundam and the Quooks move into the colony, and Xavier's like, well, at least you have manners and you're not firing off your beams here. So they're just kind of like, he's using, whoever's in the Red Gundam is using the bits to like slam into and kind of buzz the Quooks, to the point where like Machu and Neon almost get flattened by one as it like almost like he gets knocked into the building and like
to a crisp by the thrusters,
jets away. And then he like grabs one of the bits by the barrel and like swings it around and slams into the other one.
Coolest shit he does in the whole episode.
It's so cool. It sends the red Gundam's shield flying, and then the shield is like falling towards Machu and Neon, and then the red Gundam's like stops and grabs it, and then there's like a moment where the red Gundam's just like fucking staring at them.
It's very Iron Giant with it for a second there.
I was good. So I forgot to mention earlier, the way that the eyes are blue and then they turn red when weapons are activated. I'm like, this is just like the Iron Giant.
Yeah,
because
they explicitly do say when because Anki tells Jezi like, "Hey, you got to go hide our Zaku. Nobody can know that we are doing clan battles because it's illegal."
The cops are coming at this point because Gundams are fighting in the colony.
Yeah, the cop Zakus are back, and Jezi hops in the Zaku, and he's like, "Shit."
Fuck, I can't gotta get out of here. So this is the point when
he was even the one who was hyped about being able to battle when Machu gave them the key.
Oh, that's right.
But he seems like he's kind of ass at it.
Maybe he's not cool under pressure. Couldn't be Machu because it takes about half a second for her to think, okay, fuck them cops, and jumps in the gun and was like, how do you turn this thing on? Let's go, dude.
Yeah, and like in the dub, it's so funny because she just jumps into the cockpit with the key and goes, "Where is it?" And he's like, "What are you talking about?"
And Haru's like, under the steering wheel, put it
under the handlebar.
Oh, there is a.
She like dives down there to shove it up in the key slot. She has no reservations about it.
Yeah,
she's like, I'm gonna go kick their ass.
There's a line earlier I wanted to mention that Anki says. This one, I raised my eyebrow and I stroked my chin because she says, even though Zeon won the war, Space Marines will never be free. And I just thought that was an interesting line to say in the context of a Gundam show where the other side won the war this time.
Well,
do you think maybe
it's because war is bad? Yeah, and that's why I called out that the police aren't Federation earlier, because they're very much, they're not only are they in the weapons hot Zakus, which I don't think the Zeon would give to the Federation people.
Right.
I think they also do have like a police or like, I don't think they have Zeon symbols because they're independent. They're from Side 6. They're not either. They're independent.
They're the independent Side 6 military presence. But yeah, it's very much a thing of like, I mean, we don't know what life in other colonies is like if Zeon is taking care of their own, or if it is like they won the war and they're like, oh, well, things are a lot more complicated than we said they were going to be, so we can't really like help you all out immediately. Who knows,
To the point that they're tearing the roofs off the slum buildings.
And they say these are illegal anyway, so fuck them.
Yeah.
Like,
whoa! Because the GQuuuuuX does a cool move where he does a smoke bomb.
He farts.
Yeah, he puts up a big fart cloud and they can't see him. But
Machu's rooting around and she ends up like turning it on. She gets the little key in, and then the cop like sees and like it's literally the second that she walks out of the hangar and turns the weapon the monoida red, a cop sees, I'm gonna kill this fucking thing. Like right in front of the cop, she turns it on.
Yeah, it's a very, very like funny little shot there where it's like, oh god, it's got a red mono eye, it's got weapons hot.
What I also love about this whole sequence is that like at no point do people question what Machu's doing or question why she should be there. It's like everyone in the clan battle office is clearly like, okay, this girl is like a fucking sicko, and let's see where she's going with this.
Yeah, like Anki immediately, basically extends the hand. I was like, hey, you interested in clan bat? And honestly, I think that might have been to both of them. But especially Machu, because she's so gung-ho about the whole situation. Like, they know nothing about her. She's not the courier that was sent. Right. But she just, like, shows up and is cool with this whole thing, even though she knows it's illegal. So they're like, hey, you wanna do illegal stuff?
Yeah. And she says, yes, very much so.
Yeah. But they do get their ass kicked by the cop Zaku.
She doesn't know how to use it at all.
Being a dick kick.
Yeah, I noticed there's a couple of kicks in the show, which is ding, Gundam reference, but like the first Zaku kick, not so much. The kick that Machu does later on is like it does feel like 45 years later. Here's what the Gundam kick looks like now.
Yeah.
They get like kicked directly into the maintenance shaft where Xavier is like parked the GQuuuuuuX.
Dude is having the worst day. Like because earlier he has to get away rather than keep fighting because he's like, oh no, I pushed it too hard without the Psycho, the controls are fried. So he's just trying to stash it there. Like he's even out of the GQuuuuuuX and is just standing next to it when they crash in through the roof.
Right. And then the cop like scans him and it says Xeon normal suit and he like aims the gun at him like,
the
hey,
giant ass Zaku gun.
What the fuck are you doing here?
Single man. Yeah.
You're not allowed.
And he's like, whoa,
hang
on. I'm here. I'm not here for you.
And as this happens, hold on. We skipped over. You said you took a screenshot of the startup
right.
for this Zaku.
Right, because when Machu puts the key in, the screen like flashes and we get a very good like loading screen with the like brr, 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 like kind of text scroll real fast.
Yeah.
I did manage to pause and take a screenshot. So at the top of the screen it has Zionic in big letters, and then it says like
yes.
It even has like MS06 OS next to it.
Oh,
so it's like,
okay.
MS06 operating system. And then there's like update version, and I didn't quite get all the letters, but at the end, in parentheses, it says KH. Or like HK, I don't remember which it is.
Kingdom
but I'm like,
Hearts.
okay, is that like a character? Yeah. It's Zaku Kingdom Hearts version.
Interesting. KH. I want to see if there's like you can see other startup screens for these things
to work. But the stuff that leads me to believe he thought it was what he might have thought it was broken is because down at the bottom it says fire control system okay, weapon calibration error, fallback mode, but the targeting sensors are online.
Okay. So it's like active, but it can't use its weapon still.
I think it just can't like aim right. The limiter is unlocked. It says security override detected. Let's see, what else have we got? Bypass the authentication, which is obviously important. Firmware build unknown. Manufacturer code ZHI for Zionic Heavy Industries. Okay. MS06 question mark.
Huh.
So there's this key may not have been made, or I'm definitely just reading too much into it.
It's like a fucking crack. It's like when you have to activate a product key online, you download it from like a strange Russian website, and it plays
they jailbroke their Zaku.
Mute. Yeah, they jailbroke the Zaku.
Yeah,
it seemed to work pretty good until the cops started kicking him.
Yeah, and then we do get an even shorter flash of like the system coming up, which is red instead of the like white startup, and that it doesn't have much. It says like readout and then two things that say frequency on both sides.
That's right. It's frequent. So they're like, in a crumpled pile at the bottom of the tunnel, and like as the cop is aiming at Xavier, Machu looks over and says, "Wow, that one looks way cooler than this piece of shit. Bye. See ya." And
we do get a really cool shot of her jumping out.
Yes. With Haru along with her.
Yeah, because she like kind of starts the Zaku up and like runs over and then launches herself out of the cockpit.
Whee!
Yeah, it's real good.
It's really, really great. And like she gets in, Haru says, "My time to shine," and like unlocks the Omega Saikamu for her.
Yeah, which like, wait a minute.
Can he do that?
Yeah, Haru can turn the Gundam on.
But I really like how so the normal like clunky like lever controls like kind of recede, and then in from the ceiling comes a new set of controls where it's like you lay your palm on it and there's like little slots for each of the fingers. It feels a little bit how when Unicorn goes into destroy mode, the whole UI like kind of swaps around.
Yeah. She's got like gamer mouse for each hand.
Yeah.
Those like crazy Razer ones with like 15 buttons.
Yeah, she has the RBG lights on for sure.
And then she has to be some kind of like crazy fucking new type, because not only does Haru shit on, she doesn't even have to use the like tentacle mouse things to pilot it. She just kind of moves and it happens.
It listens to her like as it shoots. It like the Gundam puts the shield up for her. And like the way the Gundam, it almost like the Gundam moves by itself and leaps over the Zaku to grab the heat hawk that she's staring at.
It's very like thought based more than actual input, which vibes. Is another like almost I don't know if it's really unicorn sort of like Zero system type stuff going on.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely like if you're a new type and you're plugged in, the Omega Psychom is active, like you can kind of think your way through a lot of these situations.
We do get a little bit of it almost like mirroring Gundam when she like puts her hands up to defend herself.
Yeah.
So that was really cool as well.
Yeah.
I did put in my notes, there are going to be people with bad opinions online who are mad about this because she's a girl.
Yeah. She doesn't have the proper training. Fucking
she doesn't even have to learn anything. It just happened.
It's not right. She didn't earn it. Whatever.
She got in the Gundam. That's
she how got she in the Gundam. That's what
she
matters.
got in the fucking Gundam. That is all a Gundam protagonist has ever had to do is get in the goddamn Gundam.
And she just like with one single chop, fucking like chops into the head of the Zaku and just perfectly disables it in one go.
It was really cool.
Really cool. And the other cop comes in and says, "You don't do that to my Mav." And like while he's shooting at her, the airlock opens and they get sucked out into space to continue their battle.
And we get the sickest fucking new type flash of all time.
She enters the soup like immediately.
Like,
and this
instantly.
It is extravagant. It is beautiful. There's like a billion colors everywhere.
Oh, it was so cool. It's very like trance or almost hypnotic to look at. She gets this big new type flash and suddenly, she's in the soup and floating around and then she looks over and there's the whole ass red Gundam like right there.
Quit looking at me with those big ol' eyes.
Yeah. Which could be said to either of them because Machu has some big ol' eyes.
That's true, but like it's like these weird like blue glowy eyes that the red Gundam has this time. She says kira kira when she's in there, which means like sparkling or glittering or shining. So she's like seeing this. This is not a metaphorical space. This is
it is real.
Machu is seeing
real and
then you hear the most like ghostly la la, which freaked me out a little bit.
Just a little.
Which makes me wonder, like, is it Lala piloting the Red Gundam?
I don't think so.
No, it could be. We don't know.
There's a third character in the top row of the character list that I think is the
Shuji. Yeah,
that is the Red Gundam pilot.
Mm-hmm. There's no way to know. But like, she's like, okay, let's do this shit for real, and like exits pretty quickly and like grabs the controls and the Gundam like grabs onto like a tension wire and like swings around it.
That was sick as fuck too.
Really cool.
The way she manages to like acrobat her way through this.
Yeah. And the way she like launches herself forward and like does a battle cry and does like the sickest kick, like where the legs do like 180-degree split and she like her foot's like further forward than the Gundam's head is and she just slams into the Zaku with it.
Yeah. Well, and the Zaku pilot's freaking out because he's like, oh, they're in perfect sync. Like, are these people Mavs?
Uh-huh.
And it's like her and the Red Gundam are like auto doing like some crazy attack pattern.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah. And again, one single chop, she like disables the Zaku and sends it flying through a solar panel.
Yeah. I was like, damn, you really gonna cut the power off from the colony like that?
Yeah, not cool. And like after where she like looks up and the Red Gundam's like already far as fuck away, but it does buzz the bridge of the green base.
Yeah, that was kind of wild.
Yeah, and Charlie Bull's like, okay, that's not the Red Comet. The Red Comet wouldn't do that. Yeah. But then who the fuck is it, and how did they get in it? So
well, and the other thing I'm thinking is like, did he like sense the pilot?
Right. Yeah, because like he can clearly, I mean, he can sense that there's a Gundam nearby, which is crazy. So yeah, it probably is like. He might be able to tell who it is. Yeah,
because I imagine, since he's alive and also a new type, I'd imagine that if, he's still probably like the first new type, essentially. So he would have been with Char, is what I'm assuming, like on his quote unquote white base squad. Or maybe they just fucking stole the white base along with the Gundam.
That's true.
Char could have just been like, all right, I'm taking this now, bye.
Mine. Thanks.
Yeah.
But we get like the last shot before the credits is just like Nyan is still sort of like walking away, hiding from the police. Seems to not want to be involved in any of this, which I don't certainly blame her.
I don't blame her at all. it feels a bit odd, with her being the instigating incident to just be like, nope, I'm out. But it makes sense for how nervous and like jerky she seemed about all this.
Yeah. But then we get the ending, and the ending goes hard. The ending goes so hard. I really
it's so cute, like just hanging out in the house, in like some kind of house or apartment or something.
It's domestic. I like that too. Yeah, they're like eating pizza and singing karaoke. I really love the little like square, the cube crab guy.
Oh yeah.
He has shutter shades in one of the shots, which I really like.
I am very much looking forward to when this anime of like some giant dramatic or really sad moment, and then we cut to that ending.
Yeah. The song is the song sounds like from like something out of Mega Man Battle Network. I really dig it.
It's a banger. I'm into it.
And the very last thing we see is a preview of the next episode, and yeah, we see fucking Char Run getting in the white Gundam.
Yeah.
Oops.
Oh boy, I'm excited to see. I'm wondering how much of an explanation we're gonna get as we go down the line. But
because I didn't watch the movie. I do know that the movie opens. I know the movie opens with like a big spiel on like, here's the history of the 1 year war and how things are different. I feel like that's going to be what this next episode is going to be.
Yeah,
if they're going back in time.
That feels like it's going to be episode 2.
Right, because I feel like they wouldn't make something like that exclusively for the movie. I feel like the movie's just going to be like the episode's recut and not like exclusive footage. So we'll see.
It's like how in One Piece, they swapped their chapter 2 for chapter 1, so you get right into the action, and then you get the exposition.
Yeah, some people just aren't brave enough to handle the story in the order it was written.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a really, really sick first episode.
It was very cool.
It feels like they kind of hit every sort of like beat of just like this, showing you what the main character is like, showing you the state of the world. Obviously, we have to show you the robots very, very quickly, but like there's a lot of mysteries involving them and like how they operate and how they're different. I really loved it. Really fucking cool.
Yeah, it was like there was so much to digest, which is why we had so much to talk about on this episode. But if it keeps up this kind of like pace and density for the rest of the show, I think there'll be plenty in a 12 episode series. I'm very optimistic.
Honestly, yeah, if it's like this for 12 episodes, we're gonna get a lot. Like that's a breakneck pace, fucking really cool, really well done. I had a very good time watching this, and Machuesdays are back.
Machuesdays, I like that because it releases on Tuesdays, folks.
Yeah, I might just put the episodes up on Tuesdays of just like watch the last one to get ready for the new one, and then listen to us talk about it, and then watch the new one. Who knows? Could be cool.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Do we really? I don't know if I have any much else to say. It's pretty much all my notes.
Yeah, I think that's everything. I mean, I did put at the end with like the activation being the head changing.
Yeah,
but other than that, I think that's everything.
Yeah, freaking cool.
But this will not be the last time you hear me, despite this.
You're gonna be here for. You're gonna be back for Build Fighters Try.
Yep, the bad one.
Yay!
I'll be back.
Until then, though, Sam, where can we find you?
You can find me in the Discord for Wow Cool Robot under Young Goof Ignited. You can also find me on Blue Sky. I don't remember what my username is because I don't have to look at it because it's mine. Yeah. It is at fraydfate.bsky.social. Frayed as in like a twine being frayed, fate as in the concept of destiny.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Pretty good.
But I also have a robot of the week if you want it.
I was gonna ask.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I took the moment away.
Oh no, good, please.
My robot of the week is from BattleTech. It is the King Crab mech, 100-ton assault class mech, battle mech, specifically the KGC-001 that has double Gauss rifles, one in each hand. We love a rail cannon, folks. If you haven't seen it, look it up.
It is giving Crab a little bit. Very like I like the sort of like bridge it has of like the little like back and forth crisscrossy
the
struts on the visor looking thing.
It's very cool. There's 2 Crab mechs in.
Whoa.
It's 100 tons. It's an assault class. It's massive.
Yeah, I was gonna say how big is a BattleTech thing? Like, what's the scale of this?
It's pretty large. I'd say it's. I don't even know if they're like Gundam scale, but they're solid. Like, I'd say like 20 plus feet tall.
Because like 100 tons. I mean, that's a lot, but I feel like for Gundam, that's like significantly smaller. Just because Gundams are big.
Yeah, they're very like quote unquote realistic mechs in BattleTech. So they're heavy, but they're not that tall.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. The Gundam's apparently 60 metric tons, so maybe this thing is quite big.
Yeah,
then again, it's also really fucking wide.
Yeah, it's flat like a crab.
Whoa.
And as an honorable mention, shout out to Guntank. I love you despite all the haters.
Yay, Guntank.
But that's me for the week.
Fuck yeah. I'm Max. I'm on everywhere. Maxi Bajillion. My other shows are Pod Agreed about Yu-Gi-Oh! And the other ones are on hiatus, which are Nevermind the Trollocs about Amazon's Wheel of Time and Slappers Only about video game music. This show, you can find us at wowcoolrobot.beastguy.social. You can join the Discord at the link. Come hang out and chat and talk about Gunpla that no one can buy anymore. And, a lot of fun stuff. All those links are going to be in the episode description. And as mentioned, the conceit of this recording series that every week we're going to have a different guest. So Sam, thank you for a wonderful time. I will see you in the near future when we talk about Build Fighters Try.
Hopefully it'll be a good time despite the lower show, especially because it was my first introduction.
Oh, all right. It was the first time forever.
Yep.
Well, until then, as we always say, war is bad.
Wow, cool robot.
See you on Machuesday.